I think back, Hugh, to our production meeting before that Sugar Bowl, right, where you guys just blitzed Oklahoma State, and in many ways, some of the apex of what you did at Ole Miss there.
Yes.
And I have that picture of Hugh, and you were transparent, you were honest, you were always a tremendous guy to sit and talk football with, and your team and everything. But that Hugh Freeze then versus the Hugh Freeze today. If I was sitting with you Friday night before homecoming at Middle Tennessee State, and I'm sitting in a production meeting with you, what is Hugh Freeze today versus the Hugh Freeze that I knew at Ole Miss?
Well, I think, I feel awkward trying to praise anything about myself, because I don't, I feel like Paul, I'm the chief of all sinners. But I think the people that are the closest to me, who I choose and want to be a hero in their eyes, and that's really what has, man, when you go back to your home, Ole Miss, where I was raised, and you bring success to a program that hadn't won an SEC game in 2 years, and you go to a Sugar Bowl that Archie Manning was the last to lead them to, and I wanted to be a hero in a lot of different ways that was not honorable. It was not the right path to chase. It wasn't the stuff that I was choosing to, man. And I knew it, Brock. I mean, it was an internal battle of, I know that's not what I really want. Why am I letting this define me? Why am I letting them define me? Why am I letting that scoreboard define me? Because I've always, for 20 years, preached that's not who I am. That doesn't, and it quickly led to a series of really, really, really stupid, poor decisions that forever I will regret. And but I think what you would hear from the people who I choose, and that's my wife and kids, God first, my wife and kids, my family and friends, and our team and administration here. I think they would, I know my wife would probably say he is much more humble and considerate, more at peace, back to who he was at Arkansas State, or the first few years at Ole Miss, or at Lambeth, that nobody knows about. And I think that's what they would say right now. And I'm much more easy to give grace, and mercy. And that's a balancing act when you're coaching, because the critique of a film has to be done. And sometimes that can, in today's culture, the young men can take that as it causes a fraction in the relationship. And I'm much more considerate. I try hard to win the relationship. So anyway, I think it's, when I was at Ole Miss, we went to a bowl game in our first year, which was pretty remarkable. I'm recruiting I'll never forget this, recruiting in a little town in Georgia, South Georgia. I go to this school, and this older couple is sitting outside, and I just kind of bypass them. And the principal says, "Coach, this older couple here they've been sitting here all day. They heard you were coming, and they're big fans, and they really wanted to meet you." And I went and met with the kid and come out, and they're still there. I'll never forget, her name's Miss Lois. She introduces herself, and I said, "Man, it's awesome to meet you." She said, "Coach, we love your faith story. We love Ole Miss, and we just so honored to meet you." And Brock, we're so caught up with recruiting, and I got to get to the next stop and the next stop. And I'm telling you, for one time, I did the right thing, and I said, "You know what, Miss Lois, if they got any kind of country food in this town, because I'm just, oh gosh, yes, Coach, they got this. The farmers market is the best place to eat here." I said, "Well, let's go eat." Man, I got in the car, and as soon as I got in, she opens the passenger and got in with me, and her poor husband's just standing there. And I said, "What about your husband?" "Oh, he'll meet us there. He'll meet us there." And we drove to the farmers market, had the best time, and they
Mm.
shared with me a big struggle they were having with their son, and I was able to get on the phone and help him and do all of that. Look, Brock, I don't tell you that to in any way pat myself on the back. Here's what it's kind of sad where I'm going with this, but you take after year 5 of going to the Sugar Bowl, and I have that same scenario arise, I'm probably too important to do it,
Mm.
but not anymore.
Mm.
But that's probably maybe one of the best ways I could say um, how kind of a change occurred.